Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me again today. Now this is part 2 of a video that I filmed yesterday. You will have seen part 1, which I'll link below in the description bar. And we got up to talking about sunscreens. I'd also done my 3 favourite Paulas Choice products, and I did a conclusion of the Dr Sam Bunting, and then I was moving on to sunscreen, and then I'll be moving on to some of the other Paulas Choice products that are my kind of jury's out products at the moment. I'm still not sure if I will reuse them, but talking you through those and just some other odds and ends that I haven't mentioned before. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you once again for joining me, and I'll see you all very soon. Okay, so you know that I've been using the what's it called now? The Heliocare Sunscreen recently, the gel one. And I do love that, but I fluctuate between that one and this one. And I keep coming back to this one because although it's not a mineral sunscreen, it's just really easy for when you just don't want to be making a huge amount of effort, like today, for example. So this one is the Ultrasun Factor 50 Anti-Pigmentation. You know I've talked about this a lot, and I've used the La Roche-Posay one as well, as you know, very good. And that one is also a tinted sunscreen, and I love the Heliocare as well. I think with the Heliocare, I might just go back to their the cream, the moisture cream, rather than the gel, because I do think you have to be careful about what you put underneath it, or it might pill. But you know I've done a whole video about how to prevent that happening. But this one, the reason that I love the Ultrasun one is that you put it on your skin. Let's just put this on, and it just sinks in immediately. And before you know it, your skin is right, it's still a little bit sticky, but before you know it, within a couple of minutes, in the time it takes you to go downstairs and make yourself a cup of tea, your skin is dry. It's dry now. That is dry. It just sinks in immediately. So you're not going to find things pilling against it. You're not going to find that it feels heavy on your face with makeup. And it's just great if you're not going to put makeup on, because it doesn't look like you've got much on your face. It's got a tint to it, so it will even out my complexion, but I don't feel like I've got any foundation on at all. I think the La Roche-Posay one does feel a little bit more like foundation. It's very good, and if you're going to be putting foundation on anyway, then it doesn't really matter. But if you're not putting anything on, you're having a Sunday in your dressing gown, and you're not putting any makeup on because your back's killing you, then this is great. You know, it's great. You put it on, and yeah, some people say, but you're not going out your door, why are you putting sunscreen on? Because I'm still looking at my device and the sun's still coming through the window. Maybe not now, but it was earlier. So I will always put sunscreen on. I wish I'd told myself that 20 years ago, when I used to go out and stick oil over me and say, I don't burn, I don't need sunscreen. If only I knew back then. Anyway, let's go back to Paulas Choice, shall we? And I'm going to put my glasses on so I can read things. Okay, so we're now getting on to the jury is out. That doesn't mean I don't like them, but it means that I'm still not sure whether I'll repurchase of Paulas Choice. Now I decided to try the C15 Super Booster. So this is vitamin C, which has got ferulic acid in it. Now this isn't cheap either, but it's a lot cheaper than the one by SkinCeuticals, which I was using before. And the fact that it's got ferulic acid in it and vitamin C, it looked like it was quite similar to the SkinCeuticals one. Now you'll probably know that the SkinCeuticals one is about £135. It's absolutely brilliant vitamin C, and I definitely feel like it does the trick, but you know, it's expensive. And given that vitamin C You shouldn't keep it for very long. You need to use it up. I wanted to try this because it's about £50 this. It's still not cheap. But I thought, let's try this. And try out a few vitamin C's, and maybe try out some that are even cheaper, to see really if I want to go back to SkinCeuticals, because that is quite an investment. Even though the SkinCeuticals one did last me about 4 months, it's still very expensive. This one says that you need to use it within 3 months of opening, and there is 20 mils in it. So I don't know, maybe the SkinCeuticals one. Let me just check how much is in the SkinCeuticals one, because probably the thing is, even if there's more in it, it's probably better to get smaller amounts of vitamin C. I'll put the details below and tell you. It's probably better to get smaller amounts of vitamin C and use it up quickly than get larger amounts and get better value for money, because it's not something that is going to keep and be effective. Okay, so I'm trying that out. I've been using it. Again, very good, but I don't know for that price whether or not I'm going to continue using it. It's still quite an expensive thing to get. Now we also have, I got a sample of 10% Azelaic Acids. Very good. I think, again, Paulas Choice stuff isn't cheap, and I think the one by The Ordinary is probably just as good. I've only kind of used this a couple of times because I'm using other things at the moment. I think it is very good, but I don't know whether I would say it was any better than The Ordinary, and The Ordinary is substantially cheaper. So, but it was nice to have a little sample to try. Then we have what they're best known for is their BHA Liquid Exfoliant. I've only tried this once, again, because I don't really feel like I need BHAs. I've got a few in the other one, but I did try it one night instead of my AHAs, and I missed it. I missed the sort of smoothing, moisturising effect that I got of the AHA formula. This one I think is probably better if you've got a really oily T-zone. And like when I was in my teens, I had a really oily T-zone with lots and lots of blackheads on my nose. I think that that would be really, really good for that. And I might kind of use it once in a while if I'm noticing that these pores are really open here or around my nose. I might switch to that on occasions. Again, I got that as a sample for buying a certain amount from Paulas Choice. At the moment, they've got this offer where if you buy a certain amount, you get this bag, you get this, you get the Azelaic Acid for free. I think that was all you got, yeah. So the Azelaic Acid, the BHA, and the bag. And then this one, I think I got this. They often throw in samples anyway. You can choose your samples. And I got this, which is a Radiance Renewal mask. I have used this a couple of times. I don't know. It's good. I've put it on. I wouldn't say that it's has remarkable effects. I've not seen anything that's made me think, wow, I've got to get the full size of that one yet. But I'll keep you updated. So that's the Radiance Renewal mask. And then the other thing that I bought was this, and I have got this in the full size because they didn't have the travel size. And this is the Clinical Ceramide Enriched Firming Moisturizer, which basically goes alongside the eye cream that I'm loving. And I thought, ceramides, I've read articles that we all need ceramides in our skincare, and I love the eye cream so much that I thought I'll get this cream to go with it and use it at night. I was a little bit disappointed in this because I actually thought that this was going to feel as moisturising as the eye cream, and the eye cream is quite rich and it feels very moisturising as soon as you dot it under the eyes. This one didn't actually feel as moisturising as the eye cream, and yet it looks quite a similar formula, but it does have a bit of retinol in it. I'm going to go over and tell you from Paulas Choice website what it's got in it. my hand is going to be treated to all lovely ingredients. Do you know what? Whenever I demonstrate anything, I've said this before, I always put it on this hand, and this poor hand here is suffering from lack of skincare. Look at that. It's got a weird smell to it, and I cannot for the life of me describe it. It's a little bit earthy. I can't describe it. Maybe a bit licoricey. Yes. And I think it might have licorice in it. Yes, a bit licoricey. I'm going to just quickly go over to the site and tell you the quick summary of what's in this. Okay, so like the eye cream, it's got ceramide, it's got retinol, it's got vitamin C. Okay, now I did get some travel anti-aging stuff which I bought before, and she does this barrier repair moisturizer as well with retinol. There's quite a few products that got similar things, so it really is about working out what works best for you. Now I think that this might actually be slightly more moisturizing. This says it's for all skin types, whereas this says it's for normal to dry skin types, and I think this one, which I've actually run out of, might have been a little bit more moisturizing, so just be careful of that, because I think the eye cream is definitely very moisturizing, but I'm not sure that the face cream is as moisturizing. But I've got it now, and I got this in a set with the eye cream, the full size eye cream, so there are some bundles that you can get that saves you a bit of money. You can also get, this was one of the first things I got when I got the AHA and I got the retinol. I got a little set where you can get the set of the anti-aging set, which comes with a cleanser, a night cream and a day cream in the travel sizes, and there was something like 25% off. You got, if you got all of them. I think there were 4 items. Yeah, day, night cream and cleanser. Was it 3? What was the 4th one? Let me just quickly check. Oh, of course, it was the AHA exfoliant, wasn't it? So yes, you get the cleanser, the AHA exfoliant, the day cream, which has got SPF in it, and the night cream, which has got retinol in it, in a set. And I'll put the details of that below. So that's a really good way of trying out 4 basic products that will work really well for you, because you've got your exfoliant in it as well. Anyway, so that is my kind of skincare. I could go into a couple of other things that I've bought. Maybe I'll do that very quickly. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but why not? Okay, just a couple more things to finish off. One thing that I read is that when you're using retinol, it's really good to combine it with bakuchiol, which you'll all know is in Dr Sam Bunting's range, because it helps, it mimics the retinol, but it also helps you to tolerate retinol a lot better if you're getting sensitive. And I thought, do you know what, I'm not spending money on a bakuchiol serum as well from Paulas Choice, because I'm going to end up spending a fortune. So I just bought some off the Inky list, and I've been using that in the day as a moisturizer. So then I put my retinol on at night, and I put that on as a daily moisturizer, and that supposedly, it used in combination with retinol, will have the similar effect in the daytime, but it will also help you to tolerate your retinol. And that is $9.99 from the Inky list, and it's a really good moisturizer. You don't really need to use a lot. It spreads quite a lot over the face. Shall I treat this other hand? Let's treat this other hand. I really only use about that much, because the way after I put my serums on, I really don't need that much, and it does spread a lot. So I'll just put this over my poor neglected right hand that doesn't get any of the nice skincare ingredients, and it feels quite cooling as well. So So that's bakuchiol. And while I was on their site, I got some alpha Arbitan, which is also a really good ingredient if you have hyperpigmentation. And I'm just kind of, I'm not using everything because I've got this, I've got my tranexamic acid as well for my hyperpigmentation. I kind of mix and match different things on different days, so I don't end up having a skincare regime that's got 10 products in it. But I kind of go to my basic cleanse, exfoliate, treat, moisturize, and then whatever's in the treatment is whatever I think, I'll use that today. I haven't used that for a while. Okay, that's how I'm doing it. But some people say you should do things more consistently. I think you just follow what your skin says it needs. Okay, I've decided I'm now doing this video in 2 parts, and silly old me hadn't plugged my good microphone in until now. So the whole of the first part of this video is going to be in really awful sound quality. So sorry about that, folks. It's going to be one of those days. Now, I wanted to talk also about some nights, even when I've done my skincare, my skin feels a little bit dry, and I like to have something moisturising sinking into my skin, so that when I wake up it feels really soft. And my skin often dries out overnight as well, especially around the eye area. And I don't mind kind of facial oils, so I have been using rosehip oil, because rosehip oil is supposed to be very good if you've got pigmentation. It's high in vitamin C, which is really good for sun damage. It's really good for helping to even out your complexion, and it's very, very good. I bought this one off Amazon. I read up, Sukin's a pretty good make, pretty good brand, and I wanted to kind of get mine. I had a rosehip oil from another brand, but I thought it smelt like it had gone off. And I think again with oils, you shouldn't keep them for longer than 6 months, otherwise they're probably no good. So I bought this recently, and I've been just putting a couple of drops onto my hand and then rubbing it in as a last thing before I go to sleep, and that just really holds in all my skincare, really just traps it all in there and just makes my skin feel really soft in the morning. The other good thing is, just a little tip, is if you just put some on your hands, you know, if you find that you're getting really chapped hands because of all the hand washing we're doing, it's just really good on your hands. It's a good multitasker, very good if you've got aging skin, in particular. It's just really lovely. It sinks in quite a lot. It's got quite a, I can't really again, I'm no good at describing smells. There is a faint smell to it, but it doesn't smell of roses. I couldn't describe it. It's sort of just like an oil smell, really, like the smell of an oil. But very good to put on your hands, and it's skin brightening. So the one, as I said, I've used is Sukin. The one that I used before was, I'm going to put the details of that one below. I've forgotten the name. I can't remember any brand names at the moment. But before I go, so I decided to lengthen this before, because I'm doing it in 2 parts now, and you're getting the very end of it with the nice microphone. I just wanted to talk to you about the fact that I've been taking the Heliocare capsules, and I do think that they have been helping my skin as well and helping my hyperpigmentation. Now I'm going to leave you with pictures that I took before I started the Dr Sam Bunting and the pictures of me now. Now bearing in mind, because I don't want to cheat anyone, that I have got a bit of this tinted sunscreen on. So I did the 2 pictures together and thought, wow, and then I thought, oh, hang on a minute, Ali, you got tinted sunscreen on. So I'm just going to say that, but I still think that my skin, in terms of using the AHAs and the retinol in particular have really helped to kind of boost what the Dr. Sam Bunting regime was doing. But also I have been taking these Heliocare capsules, and the Heliocare capsules have got this substance in which is it's a Latin name that's called Polycudimos something something, and I can't pronounce it, but the trade name is Fern Block. And this was also in Dr. Sam's skincare leaflet that she published on hyperpigmentation. There has been some limited research where it's been found to be effective in helping to treat hyperpigmentation, so I had to start trying it. It's an antioxidant, and it's also got some vitamin E in there. They do another capsule with vitamin D in, which I'm not taking because I'm already on high dose vitamin D, but I have been taking that on a daily basis for the last about 20 days. I think I've got about 10 days left. I need to get some advice about whether or not you can continue to take it, or whether you're supposed to just take it for certain periods and stop. So I'm going to get that advice, but what I want to do is to start taking it before we hit the summer months, because it does protect you from the harmful rays of the sun in combination with your sunscreen. And as my pigmentation does tend to get worse in the summer, I am definitely going to be using it in the months leading up to summer to help kind of prevent it getting worse in the summer, if that makes sense. But I definitely think that has made a big difference. As to a certain dietary things that I have been keeping going from my Dr. Sam Bunting days, so I have blueberries in my breakfast every morning. I use a lot of olive oil in my diet. I also eat a lot of tomatoes, which are very good. They've got lycopene, which she recommends, and I like watermelon as well, and whenever I can get watermelon. These are all things that she mentions as being good skincare ingredients. So it's about kind of not just thinking about what we put on our skin, but what we ingest. Not going crazy with diet. I'm not one of these people, as I used to work in eating disorders. I do believe that you can go a bit crazy with diet and start getting very particular about what you eat, and I do not want to get into that mindset, because I have seen that in the most extreme circumstances with people with severe anorexia to severe morbid obesity who have got things like bulimia or other eating disorders. So I'm very careful not to go too mad, but to just think, well, what foods do I like and what are good for my skin, and try and incorporate them in my diet. So that is my video for today, the second part. I hope you've enjoyed this. Do ask me any questions that you want, and I will leave you with these before and after pictures. So the pictures that were taken when I started Dr. Sam Bunting's regime, and the pictures taken today, but bearing in mind, as I say, not trying to cheat anyone, that I do have a little bit of this tinted sunscreen on. Alright, so it's not completely like for like, but just to give you an idea of my skin and the condition that it's in. Alright, take care, see you all soon. Take care, love you all. Bye bye. Mwah.